Don't worry, I'm not going to hurt you.
Howdy, and welcome back to the famous bar. No, it's been a while. Last video kind of was the interesting thing, and kind of what this next video is about, but not quite. Does involve a health update, and if you are wondering about the shiny green shirt, I'm actually, as I record this, which is June 14th, in about an hour or so, I will be on my way to having a stress test. This was set up for me. Well, had to make the appointment after the initial one of the initial diagnoses, because I wanted to start working out. Of course, you want to lose weight, not only do you have to diet, but you should do exercise. Doctor wanted me to do the stress test. Well, the bad thing is it's taken this long to get a stress test. What really sucked was, at the time when I was making the appointment, there was an opening like 3 days later when I was calling. But the provider have to make appointments a week out. Not sure why. Policy. So this was the next closest date. So if I seem a little distracted, it's because I have not eaten anything in a while, and I haven't drunk anything in a while, because you can't drink or eat anything 4 hours before your stress test. And I think I'm about an hour and a half before I have to leave. Being said, one of the things that spurred this particular video, I've got several ideas, a lot more that are a little more fun. This one's a little more serious, unfortunately, because of news I received about 2 weeks ago. Dealing with another person in my life dying at a young age. His name was Alex. He was at one point in my life, was a very large chunk of it. Because, and this is basically, this being Pride Month, is well, I don't really want to say this is a coming out video, because technically, for 90% of my life, pretty much everybody knows that I am polyamorous. But it's not something I've put out in the unfiltered world. Although this is kind of filtered, it still will go on my Facebook. There are people who may see this video who do not know. Most likely members of the family. My parents, well, my dad lives in California, and I have very little to do with him. 99, honestly, I don't know why at this point. Him and my mom got divorced years and years ago. I've spoken to him off and on, seen him a few times. It's not like he doesn't know me. I know. I see he's actually on Facebook. He's a Mason out there. It's been interesting seeing him put up pictures of like large tables of like his friends and stuff being out on gatherings, and it just makes me go, shit, that's what I do. Well, we all do it, but seeing Dad and the kind of same situations with the pictures that I tend to put out, where it's like me with 10 people or going out to trivia or Korean barbecue or whatever it is. But I think I'm at this point now. I've kind of been at that point. Mom passed away over 10 years ago, well over 10 years ago now. I don't think she would have cared. She would, at that point, not real sure. I know she would hate the tattoos I have, especially the one that I have here, and the fact that I have out underneath the sleeve arm, because that was the one thing she always told me not to do, was get non-corporate friendly tattoos at the time. She said, don't get them underneath, because what if you have to wear short sleeves and you work somewhere and it's like, but that was her thinking. She was a baby boomer. That's just kind of how it was back then. So, but Alex's passing, to those who don't know, he was the one that kind of introduced me and my ex. I will refer to as Evil Red because that's one of the nicknames she's gone by. Into polyamory. They met while going to school together. They were both going to the same college, kind of in the same program. I guess there was an attraction. He was polyamorous, very openly polyamorous, and he kind of introduced the idea into it. And I can tell you at first it was a little off-taking, but they eased us into it, or eased me into it. I won't say I was very good at it at first. I broke some rules. That's what ended mine and Evil Red's relationship. And from there, but the nice thing is he was even after me fucking up the relationship, he was at least kind enough to kind of somewhat be in an ear. He kind of understood, it was nice. I know I haven't always thought kindly of him. There was that. I'm gonna tell you right now, there was a time and place when I almost despised the dude because of it. But it's one of those things of being 15 years out more. Wow, almost 20. Shit, I've earned this gray. I'm not the same person I was back then. And if you are the same person that you were back then, you may want to look into that. Just saying. That's a digression. But yeah, and again, it was another thing to do with someone and their heart. It seems from the person who I saw the post from told me that he had been sick for a while, and his heart gave out on him, which is another reason why the stress test is kind of. I'm glad I'm doing it, but I'm always, just like going to the doctor for anybody, just afraid they're gonna find something else out and something, you've got this, and better to know than not to know at this point. That's kind of what I'm finding out. So this is my video of a little bit of a health update, but basically coming out and, damn it, life's too short. This is me. I'm a 50-something-year-old geek, kinkster, somewhat sadist. I enjoy it, depending on how you want to define sadism. Whatever. I'm top. I call myself top because I'm just too damn laid back to call myself a dom or master. Just not me. But I enjoy being the one holding the whip, not being hit by said whip. So, top. I am openly polyamorous. I have two very lovely partners. You all know the way, we've talked about, the web slave. You've heard her voice on here. If you listen to the Kinky and the Geek, you've heard her voice there. She's the one that so lovingly tries to make me look good while doing this video. Well, I try to make myself look bad. Wait, that's life. Never mind. I'm being a self-degrading asshole now. But I know for 99% of you watching this video, you're going, but I already know. It's kind of nice to kind of get it out. There are people out there that don't know. I don't kind of announce everywhere I go, hello, my name is Bill, I'm polyamorous. Because the only person that really needs to know is someone I might be interested in. And so I don't make them, I've made this mistake, don't need to make a large person-shaped hole as they run the fuck away because didn't tell them before we went out. Has happened. One of my many mistakes at the beginning of all of this. But it's also, it's a life in progress. We all have it. Yeah, so there. Hello, my name is Bill. I'm a cis, white, heterosexual male, polyamorous kinkster who is a giant geek. I don't know what coming out day is, so I just decided to do this during Pride, even though, there is no P in the whole alphabet of letters. But, I want to say the weekend that they do Pride here in Georgia, was originally polyamorous Pride weekend or Pride Day. All kind of got combined into one. Just so you know, the reason why Atlanta does Pride in October instead of along in June with while everybody else is doing it, is where they hold Pride is Piedmont Park, which is basically the big park in Atlanta, basically the kind of Central Park-ish park. It's the large park. It's where they do a lot of these kind of things. Take that bucket. And basically they realized there was a lot of stuff going on in June and July, and it was slowly destroying Piedmont Park. And luckily the people who put Pride on were one of the first people to go, okay, we'll move. We're more than happy. Plus, usually it's a little cooler, because Atlanta is about 5 feet away from the sun. And even in June, you're looking like, I think today's high is going to be 91, somewhere in the low 90s. And we haven't even hit summer yet. So hopefully we'll have a video on that, because we went to Pride in 2019 with some friends. We have one of our friends who has a trans son, and the majority of the women in my life are bi or pan. So I go to support them. It was a lot of fun. We set up, they have an area where you basically can set up canopies and tents and stuff, and where you're away from where you can still see the stage, but you're not right there on it with the massive people who are in front of it, being a mass of people, and it was enjoyable. One of my favorite moments, I'm just going to go into this, was sitting in our little thing, and we're having snacks, and thank you, had a group of gentlemen kind of go through, because you have space for people to kind of go and forth, and we were kind of near the restrooms, and there was also a drink thingy you could buy. And as we're going by, the last man just happened to be, it was like a group of white guys and one black guy, and the black guy stopped, saw what one of my friends had, and I can't remember what cookie was, and he was like, those are my favorite cookies. She was like, here. And then he even came back and asked if he could have some more. I just thought that was just cute. I don't know. It was like the most wholesome thing I've seen, where it was just like, you have a cookie. Can I have a cookie? That wholesome kind of, thing that 6 or 7 year olds would do to each other. And it's like, you have a cookie? Can I have one of your cookies? Yeah, sure, have one of my cookies. That kind of summed up my pride experience, was handing off of cookies. No, just very, very wholesome and nice and polite. It was. I had a blast. It's very interesting to go because it seems that several of my friends, including the web slave, are kind of swag whores. And I mean that in the most loving way. And there's the row they set up, because there are food trucks and stuff like that. And where all the different groups are out there and giving away, pride swag. In fact, one of my favorite trucker hats I wear is, it's in a group. It's an AIDS Atlanta group. Now I'll have her put the name of the organization, and they had the wheel, and that was the thing I wanted was the hat because it was the nastiest October day I think I've ever seen, where it wasn't like constantly raining, but it was overcast and kind of misty. And it was one of those things I kind of wish I had brought my duster, because it was perfect duster weather. But the hat I wore had basically gotten soaked by the time we got to that area. It was kind of nice to be able to change hats. But yeah, there are people, the banks, the shipping companies, anybody and everybody out there giving away stuff to say, hey, we support you too. The same kind of thing that people kind of complain about that goes on now with Pride. I'm not going to get into how I feel about it. It's just, I know some people are like, oh, they're just patronizing us. And it's like, okay. I'm going to leave it at that. But it was, I think a good time was had by all, at least we did. Hoping to go this year. Was very lucky to find out because it's in October, and this year Frolicon is in October, but they're on different weekends. I think the only thing I'm going to miss, because Frolicon is in October, is I'll miss the Highland Fest. And I do love the Highland Fest, but I think I want to be a Frolicon a little bit more. All right. So with that, I'm going to rinse out my mouth because I can't actually drink, but don't want dry mouth. So I've been rinsing out and spitting. That makes me a quitter. If you enjoyed the video, if you like my goofy face, if you want to help my goofy face, all the stuff down there, the do the thumbs up, hit, subscribe, share it if you'd like, get this mug, make me famous. Kind of like the dumpster style now, make me rich. I'm just going to make me put my face out there and let me annoy people. Make me annoy people. So, till next time, be good at it.